Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie all day. Today is try something new in the kitchen day. I'm going to cook something I've never made before because nobody's ever made it before. First, take prepackaged popcorn. Okay, so that's not in the step. So what we're doing is I'm going to take a box of regular stovetop chicken stuffing. I'm going to take a bag of meat tortellini. I'm going to take a bag of baby broccoli florets. I'm going to use white pizza sauce and some mozzarella. So I'm going to use all that. I don't know if I have breadcrumbs. I did before. I don't know if I still do. If I do, I might even sprinkle a little breadcrumb on there. The problem is I have no idea if I have any or not. So that could be something that I'm not going to add, but if I find any, then I will. But the plan is boil the water to put in the broccoli and the tortellini. Then boil water separately, I already have measured out, to do the stuffing. And what I want to do is once it's all boiled up and everything's done, you just take this. This is so, I don't know if you guys have ever had stovetop stuffing. You boil a cup and a half of water with some butter in it, and then you take this once it's boiling, you turn off the heat, you put this in and you mix it. Boom, that's it. That's how you make stovetop. It's really simple. But I'm gonna put this in like some kind of square pan, maybe a round pan, whatever, some kind of shallow pan. Boop, put that down. Then I'm going to, once these are done, I'm going to strain all the water out. I'm going to put some of this, not too heavy, but just enough for flavor. I'm going to pour that on and toss it and mix it together. That'll add a really nice flavor, having that white sauce with this. And then I'm going to put that on top of the stuffing, not mix it in the stuffing. I don't want the stuffing to be oversaturated with sauce. I want the sauce to sit on top of it and kind of give the top a little flavor. Once that's like that and it's all on the pan, then I'm going to take the mozzarella and I'm going to sprinkle it across the top, possibly with breadcrumbs, and I'm going to put it in the toaster oven just to let the cheese melt. And it should be pretty damn good because in my head, I'm thinking it tastes good. We'll soon find out. Hold on. All right, so I didn't have any breadcrumbs. I don't know why. I don't know how. I'm all out of breadcrumbs. But I do have some crackers, and for flavoring, I have some croutons. If you have this, you have breadcrumbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these and just a couple of these. And you don't need a lot because you're just going to sprinkle over the top for like flavor and texture. I'm going to crush them together and just mix it. You could really just use the crackers, but the breadcrumbs add a little different kind of flavor. So I'm going to just make some dust real quick. And just like that, I'm pouring it on the counter. I have breadcrumbs. Not so hard. So I got the tortellini first inside the other water. Then I'll add the broccoli because it doesn't take 15 minutes to melt the ice off of broccoli. I just poured the package that was inside the stovetop box. It comes with that little bag in there. I just poured it into the boiling water and the butter. And now you literally just take a fork and you mix it until all the dry breadcrumbs, because this too is just breadcrumbs. It's basically just croutons with seasoning. You just mix it. And you mix it until all the water is completely absorbed into all your little breadcrumbs. And that's literally making stuffing. You boil water with some butter in it. And once the water starts making bubbles, you pour in the bag that's inside the box and stir it. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. So once it's done, you end up with stuffing. That's it for that. Hold on. All right, so now I have the stuffing inside the round pan, and all I'm going to do is literally just smooth it out, right? So I'm just going to kind of almost like a pie crust, right? I'm just going to lay it down, make it smooth so I can pour the rest of the stuff on top when it's done. I already added the broccoli in, so the broccoli and the tortellini, now I pretty much, it takes about 15 minutes for a noodle to properly cook, depending on the noodle. If you buy that weird pre-cooked noodles, that's not going to work. That'll go too fast. But for real ones, that's what you do. So now, bada boom, bada bing, I have the stuffing down there. And as soon as that I'll show you, because that's what I do. As soon as that's done, boop, 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 all together, which means, which it's going to be like, as soon as it reboils, it was boiling, I put frozen stuff in there, it stopped boiling. So as soon as it starts boiling again, it's pretty much going to be done all by itself. And then I'll show you what comes next. Okay, so this came to a nice hard boil again. A lot of people ask me, dbad, how do you know when your tortellini's done? Taste it, really. When it's all floating to the top, that's generally how pasta, it shows that it's fully cooked. But it can float without being done. So literally the only real thing you can do, let's just try one. Take a little bite if it's not done. And you're eating it by yourself, you can spit that bite back in. But if you're not eating by yourself and you're sharing it, don't spit it back in. But that's how you tell. That's how you tell. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my stuff and I'm going to throw it right in a strainer. Don't drain the water because there'll still be water left. You have to strain it. So if you're thinking I'll just pour the pot and try to get as much water out as possible, that's not going to work. You want to strain it and really, really let the water escape. You don't want any water left in there. So I'm just going to put it in there and let it sit and let the water strain out by itself. And now I'm going to take some of this and I'm just going to line it on the bottom of the the pot. And just a little bit, so when I pour the noodles in, this is a good trick for you guys. If you're going to be putting some kind of sauce, doing like a noodle with sauce, put a little bit of the sauce in the pot before you bring your noodles back. It'll keep your noodles from sticking to the pot. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to throw a little bit of that down there. And once this is done raining water, which it looks like it's done raining water, I'm going to put it right back into here. And hope I don't spill any. Boom. So now, because I already have some on the bottom, what I'm going to do is just kind of wiggle it around a little bit and help it spread. And now I'm just going to drizzle on the amount that I want. I don't want to oversaturate it, but I want to make sure that all of the pasta and the broccoli is definitely covered. So the first thing I'm going to do is just toss it. And to toss, all you do is kind of just make it roll around on itself. And once it's good, now I'm going to take a fork and I'm just going to finish mixing it around a little bit. And I just want to be able to see all the stuff having just a light coating. And if it's not a light enough coating yet, I'll just add a little bit more. It's not too hard. Remember, you can't take any off, but you can always add. So it's better to go light at first and then add, because you can't remove. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to toss it and you can see what it looks like. It's all really nice. And remember, I'm telling you how to do this. I've never done this before because I was walking through the store because I was starving and I'm like, what am I going to eat? And I was like, maybe I'll just go get a grinder. To some of you, this is a New England thing, Massachusetts, we say grinder. For some of you, it's like hoagie, sub, big freaking sandwich. That's a grinder. So that's what I was kind of in the mood for. And then I'm walking through the store and I said, I got some meat tortellini over there. I'll grab that. Oh, maybe I'll grab some broccoli. And then it was like, oh, maybe I'll grab some kind of sauce instead of making a soup, because that was my first thought, make a soup. Changed my mind 50 times just walking through the store. All right, so now that I have my stuffing, I'm going to pour my my broccoli and tortellini mix right on top of that. I might need a bigger pan. I don't know. Maybe I can squeeze it in there. If not, I just leave a little bit out. It's not going to be a problem. But that's what I want to do, is I just want to smooth it. I had a fork. I left it here. Just smooth it out and get it all in there. Oh, it looks right. It looks right. So I have a little bit left over. I'll just eat that separate. So I have the pasta and the broccoli sitting now on top. So what I'm going to do is, well, let me show you how I do. I'm just going to take some of this cheese and find out where the opening is. And spread some cheese on top, because cheese makes it love. So here we go. So I'm just going to do that. And basically when you cook this, I forgot to turn the toaster oven on. Hold on a second. When you cook it, all you're doing is melting the cheese. So it's not like it has to be in there for, you know, a certain amount of time, 6 hours. You're just melting the cheese. That's all you're doing. So that's it. A little bit of cheese on top. And now I'm going to take my freshly made breadcrumb mix and sprinkle that across the top of there. And it is going to be wonderful. And I'll show you what it looks like in a second. All right, perfect. So this is what I'm looking at so far, right? So now all I'm going to do is I put the toaster oven on for like 400 degrees. It really doesn't matter as long as you're just melting the cheese. Stick it right in just like this and let the cheese melt. How do I know when it's done? Well, the cheese will be melted. It's pretty freaking simple. So we'll see how that looks. All right, so this is what it looks like with the cheese melted and the breadcrumbs on it. But they got the stuffing underneath, so we got to find out what it really looks like. When preparing your food, don't forget your favorite Star Wars bowl. It makes the food taste better. I read that somewhere. I wrote it. All right, so here we go. So I'm just going to take a nice little rubber spoon, and I want to get every layer. Make sure I really dig down there and get that stuffing on there. I want to drop one of the tortellini on the floor. Oh, it's so nice like that. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. I'm going to touch the pan I just took out of the toaster oven. I don't think I care. All right, so this is really nice looking. This is really, really nice looking. All right, the stuffing and the gooey cheese and the breadcrumbs. I mean, stuffing is basically breadcrumbs, but it's done two completely different ways. One is just a topping, and one is a part of the meal. And this is what we have. And that looks really, really good. So now is my favorite part, is picking up the tortellini on the floor. But now we get to do the taste test. Now, I just created this meal, so I have no idea. I mean, I can guess in my head about what it's going to taste like because I know every single one of the ingredients that I used. I've tasted them all before, but putting it together is a little different. So I got stuffing, I've got tortellini, I've got broccoli, I've got cheese. Ooh, the stuffing makes this amazing. Holy crap. Okay, so I wasn't sure going into it what to expect. Coming out of it, I can tell you what to expect. You can expect something to taste really, really freaking good. I might need to grab a spoon for this stuff. Holy Moses. All right. No lie. This is one of those winner chicken dinner things. Hold on. Let me show you. Look at that. That is just lovely. That is just lovely. That is a parade of flavors. Amazing. That's it for this one. Guys, another really freaking easy meal to make. And sometimes it's just about being creative. You walk through the grocery store, you see one thing, and you think, all right, I can make that, but now how do I want to make it? Maybe you made it 1,000 times in the same way. Try something different. You might just surprise yourself. This is really good. I'm going to go enjoy it. I am Donnie all day. Until next video.